Welcome back to The Empire's Legacy, where we unravel the true history of the Ottoman Empire, from its humble beginnings to its world-conquering glory. In our previous episode, we followed Osman Gazi, the resilient leader who carved out a foothold for the Kayı tribe in Söğüt, forging a legacy of strength right on the edge of a world in chaos. But today, we meet his son, Osman I, a name that echoes through centuries. A visionary warrior, a man whose bold ambition transformed a small tribe into the very foundation of an empire. They called him Osman Ghazi, the founder of the Ottoman dynasty. But who was he really? How did he rise from the dust of obscurity to become the architect of a power that would rule for 600 years? And what forces, what challenges, what inner fire drove him in a land fractured by war, ambition, and collapsing empires? Stay with us as we pull back the curtain of time, separate fact from legend, and witness the dawn of the Ottoman Empire. By the late 13th century, the Kayı tribe, under Osman Gazi, had carved out a fragile but promising place in Söğüt, a small frontier village pressed between warring giants. To the east, the once mighty Seljuk Sultanate of Rum was crumbling, shattered by Mongol invasions. To the west, the Byzantine Empire was bleeding, its lands fractured, its cities vulnerable. Into this storm stepped a young man, Osman I. He inherited leadership around 1281. But over the next 4 decades, he would do more than lead. He would build, he would unite, and he would declare independence. This was the turning point. Not just for the Kayı, but for all of Anatolia and the world beyond. Now, Osman I, often called Osman Ghazi, is a man who walks the line between history and myth. Later, Ottoman chroniclers like Ashokpashazadeh and Neshri painted him as a holy warrior, a Ghazi, a May, unchosen by destiny. But here's the truth. His life is sparsely recorded in his own time. He emerges not from written books, but from fragmented whispers and traditions passed down through generations. Born around 1258, he was in his early 20s when his father passed him the torch. And his timing couldn't have been more critical. The Seljuks were falling, the Byzantines were gasping, and the frontier was wide open. A land waiting for a new power to rise. Our clearest picture of Osman. It comes not from his own age, but from centuries later. Writers like Ashokpashazadeh in Tevarihi Ali Osman and Neshri in Cihanuma crafted tales of a charismatic leader, a unifier of tribes, a relentless warrior against the Byzantines. But these were no unbiased histories. They were written to glorify the Ottoman house. Still, between the lines and in the gaps left by fading Byzantine and Seljuk sources, modern historians like Halil İnalcık and Colin Imber have pieced together a man of real substance, a pragmatist, a visionary, and above all, a man who saw opportunity in chaos. When Osman took over in 1281, the Kayı was small but rising. Söğüt sat on the edge of Bithynia, within striking distance of the Byzantine city of Nicaea. The region was a vacuum, no law, no strong hand to control it. Osman's role as Uc Beyi, a frontier lord under the Seljuks, allowed him to raid Byzantine lands. But Osman wasn't content with raiding. He was thinking bigger. His first major victory came around 1284 when he captured Kulaka Hisar, a minor Byzantine fortress, but a major moment for the Kayı. It wasn't just land, it was proof. Proof that Osman could fight, lead, and win. And people noticed. Warriors flocked to him. He was seen as a Ghazi, a holy fighter. Stories began to grow. One tale, told by Neshri, became legend. Osman had a dream. He dreamt of a tree growing from his chest, its branches stretching across the world. He shared the dream with Sheikh Edebali, a revered Sufi scholar. Edebali interpreted it as prophecy, a vision of empire. Did the dream really happen? Who knows? But in that moment, Osman's destiny was sealed in the minds of his people. Edebali would go on to become more than a mentor. He would become family. Osman married his daughter, Malhun Hatun. This alliance, like many of Osman's marriages and friendships, was not just emotional, it was strategic. By marrying into religious and tribal families, he forged unity in a divided land. A necessary step because Osman's enemies were not just the Byzantines, but also rival Turkic beyliks. Everyone wanted a piece of Anatolia. Osman wasn't just a conqueror, he was a builder. He welcomed warriors from every tribe. He offered land, protection, purpose. He built a society where loyalty was rewarded and vision was shared. New towns like Yenisehir and Inegöl joined his domain, and as his power grew, so did his defiance of the Seljuks. He began minting coins in his own name. He had the khutbah, the Friday sermon, spoken in his honor. These weren't just symbols, these were acts of sovereignty. The year 1299 is often remembered as the birth of the Ottoman Empire, and while some debate the date, there's no debating the significance. By then, Osman had declared independence. Byzantine chronicler George Pachymera's writes of a Turkic leader in Bithynia causing fear in Constantinople. That was Osman. In 1302, he proved his might at the Battle of Bapheus, a major victory against the Byzantines near Nicomedia. His troops, Muslim warriors, Turkish tribesmen, even Christian defectors, used speed, surprise, and guerrilla tactics to outmaneuver a better-equipped force. It was a statement to the world: the Kayı had arrived. Osman's genius was not just in warfare, but in governance. He set up courts, appointed qadis, levied taxes, gave land to his loyal fighters. He was building not just a force, but a state. His alliance with religious figures like Sheikh Edebali and warriors like Kayı Mihal, a Byzantine who embraced Islam, showed Osman's gift for unity. He fought with conviction, but ruled with pragmatism. Of course, it wasn't easy. The Byzantines launched counterattacks. Rival beyliks schemed against him. The Mongols still loomed to the east, yet Osman's resilience never faltered. Stories from the time, whether real or embellished, tell of sieges, of betrayals, of narrow escapes, and of a leader who never broke. Even Christians in Anatolia sometimes preferred Osman's rule to Byzantine corruption. He was fair, he was decisive, and he listened. By the time he died, around 1324, Osman had created something far greater than himself. He left behind a state, with a growing army, a working administration, and a vision. His conquests, Bilecik, Yenisehir, Inegöl, his victories like Bapheus, his governance, his alliances, they all laid the foundation for his son, Orhan I, to continue the mission. Osman was buried in Söğüt, and his tomb became a shrine, a place of memory, a place of legacy. But more than tombs or titles, Osman left behind a spark, a vision, a dream. The empire he founded in 1299 was small, but it was hungry, resilient, alive. And yet, his story has been shaped by myth. Modern media, like Diriliş Ertuğrul, has transformed Osman into a near-mythical hero. But remember this, the real Osman, he didn't need embellishment. His actions, his strategy, his belief in something bigger, that's the true legend. In our next episode, we'll follow Orhan I, Osman's son, as he captures Bursa, expands the state, and builds the institutions that would shape an empire. The spirit of the frontier will evolve into a sophisticated machine. The empire is coming. Thank you for joining us on the empire's legacy as we uncovered the life of Osman I, the founder of the Ottoman dynasty. What inspired you most about his story? His battlefield brilliance, his unwavering vision, or the timeless myths that surround him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what moved you. If you found this journey meaningful, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a step of our path through history. Together, we'll continue to uncover the truth of the Kayı tribe, one episode at a time. Until then, keep seeking truth, keep honoring legacy, and let Osman's vision light your path. Farewell.